Have you ever felt that sudden cold silence? One day the messages flow, the laughter is easy, the connection feels electric. Then almost overnight she grows distant. Texts go unanswered, plans evaporate, and you're left staring at your phone, wondering what went wrong. If that pain feels familiar, stay with me. In the next some minutes we'll unpack, step by step, what psychology actually says you should do when a woman distances herself. No tricks, no begging, no games, just grounded, research-backed strategies that protect your dignity and give the relationship its best possible chance to heal or transform. This is not another get-her-back-quick tutorial. This is a deep dive into attachment theory, emotional regulation, and interpersonal dynamics. By the end, you'll understand why distance happens, how your nervous system reacts, and most importantly, how to respond in ways that align with your core values. I'll share 6 evidence-based actions, each rooted in peer-reviewed studies, clinical experience, and real-world stories. You'll also learn how to recognize the difference between temporary withdrawal and permanent disinterest so you don't waste energy on a ship that has already sailed. Grab a notebook or open your Notes app. We'll pause at key moments so you can reflect. And if at any point you feel overwhelmed, remember, the goal isn't to control her choices, it's to become the kind of man who can handle uncertainty without losing himself. Ready? Let's begin. Decoding distance. What psychology really says. Psychologists often describe romantic distance as a bid for autonomy. Dr. Deborah Tannen's work on gendered communication shows that women, on average, are socialized to merge emotionally. When they step back, it's usually not impulsive. It's a signal of internal conflict. Maybe the relationship moved too fast. Maybe she feels unseen. Or maybe life stresses are draining her bandwidth. Pause and write, what changed in the 2 weeks before she pulled away? List any external stresses, work deadlines, family illness, friend drama, as well as relational ones like arguments or mismatched expectations. This timeline is data, not blame. Next, consider attachment styles. If she's avoidant, distancing is her default when intimacy spikes. If she's anxious avoidant, she may swing between clinging and vanishing. If she's secure, distance is usually a calm request for space rather than a dramatic exit. Look back at earlier patterns. Did she deactivate when you said, "I love you" too soon? Did she vanish after a weekend of intense closeness? These micro moments reveal her attachment triggers. Finally, remember the pursue-withdraw cycle that Dr. John Gottman identifies. When one partner seeks reassurance, pursue, and the other feels engulfed, withdraw, both reinforce each other's worst fears. Your frantic texts confirm her belief that closeness equals pressure. Her silence confirms your fear that you're unworthy. Breaking that loop is the real task. Stabilize your nervous system first. Before you draft the perfect message or analyze every emoji, you must regulate your own nervous system. Studies from UCLA show that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Your amygdala fires, cortisol floods your bloodstream, and your prefrontal cortex, the rational part, goes offline. Action step 4 to 7 to 8 breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do 4 cycles right now. Notice the slight dizziness, that CO2 recalibrating, signaling safety to your vagus nerve. Second, label the emotion. UCLA's Dr. Matthew Lieberman found that simply naming what you feel, "I'm panicked," "I'm ashamed," "I feel abandoned," reduces amygdala activity by up to 30%. Speak it aloud or write it down. Third, move your body. 10 minutes of brisk walking or push-ups metabolizes excess cortisol. Exercise convinces the older, reptilian parts of your brain that you're not trapped. You can act. Finally, set a 48-hour no-contact buffer. This isn't manipulation. It's emotional triage. During these 2 days, you commit to self-soothing, not problem-solving. If she reaches out, you can respond warmly but briefly, e.g., "Hey, hope you're okay. I'm tied up today, let's talk soon." Then return to your own centering practices. The power of self-validation. Most men chase external validation when a woman pulls away. They flood her with apologies, gifts, or grand gestures. Ironically, this reinforces the belief that her attention is the only metric of worth. Instead, you need self-validation, the ability to say, "My feelings make sense and I can soothe them myself." Try this 3-sentence drill. 1. It's understandable I feel anxious because connection matters to me. 2. My worth isn't contingent on one person's availability. 3. I can hold space for both my longing and my dignity. Write those on a sticky note and place it where you'll see it every hour. Next, practice parts work from internal family systems therapy. Imagine the panicked part of you as a younger version, maybe age 10, who once feared, "Dad wouldn't pick him up from school?" Ask that part, "What do you need right now?" Often the answer is simple: reassurance, presence, or a reminder that adult you has resources. Place a hand on your chest and breathe into the heart. Space for 60 seconds. This isn't placebo. Vagal stimulation actually lowers heart rate, variability, and restores executive function. 6 evidence-based actions to take. Now that you're grounded, let's move to the 6 actions psychology recommends. I'll give you the theory, the script, and the common pitfalls for each. Action 1. Curiosity over interrogation. The mistake most men make is asking, "Why are you ignoring me?" That sounds accusatory and triggers defensiveness. Instead, use open, low-pressure curiosity. Script, text, or in person. "I've noticed some distance lately and I just want to check in. No pressure. How are you feeling about us and everything on your plate?" Key phrase, no pressure. It signals safety. Then stop talking. Silence is a tool. Let her fill it. Pitfalls. Don't send a 300-word monologue. Don't demand immediate answers. Don't problem solve if she says, "I'm just overwhelmed." Simply reflect. Sounds like a lot. "I'm here when you're ready." Research insight. A 2018 Harvard study found that perceived partner responsiveness, feeling heard without judgment, predicts relationship stability more than frequency of contact. Action 2. The brief, warm check-in. If 48-72 hours pass with no reply, send one brief message that conveys warmth and zero pressure. Script. "Hey Sarah, just thinking of you. Hope your week's going okay." No need to respond, just sending good vibes. Rationale. Attachment researchers call this a secure signal. It shows you're still present but not fused. Avoid emojis that imply sadness. One smiley is enough. Pitfall. Resending the same message on multiple platforms. That's crowding. Action 3. Focus on your core life pillars. Distance is an opportunity to redirect energy to the 4 pillars. Proven to boost male well-being, fitness, friendships, vocation, and creativity. 1. Fitness. Schedule 3 workouts this week. Track them publicly on Strava or a simple journal. 2. Friendships. Text 2 old friends and set concrete plans. Social support reduces rumination by up to 45%. 3. Vocation. Spend 1 extra hour on a skill that advances your career. Coding, sales calls, portfolio updates. Mastery combats helplessness. 4. Creativity. Pick a 30-day micro-project, daily guitar riff. Photography challenge, short story writing. Creative flow raises dopamine without dependency on her replies. Tell yourself, "I'm building a life so rich that anyone would feel honored to share it." This isn't arrogance. It's self-sufficiency. Action 4. The 3-sentence boundary. Sometimes distance morphs into chronic neglect or breadcrumbing. After 2 weeks of minimal effort on her part, you may need to set a boundary. Use the 3-sentence formula. 1. Observation. I've noticed we haven't talked meaningfully in 2 weeks. 2. Feeling. I feel disconnected and less valued. 3. Need. I'd like to have a real conversation this week. If that's not possible, I'll assume you're stepping away and I'll move on. Deliver this via voice note or in person. Never text walls. The boundary must include an action you'll take, not an ultimatum for her. Psychology calls this differentiation. You're defining self without attacking other. Action 5. The reflective letter not to send. Dr. James Pennebaker's expressive writing studies show that writing about emotional upheaval for 20 minutes over 4 consecutive days improves immune function and clarifies cognition. Prompts. What I miss most about her is the fear underneath my anger is, Ma, if this ends, the gifts I'll take forward include, after writing, read it aloud to yourself or a trusted friend. Then decide whether to send a distilled version. 90% of the time, the unsent letter is enough. The act of articulation lowers the emotional charge. Action 6. The 90-day personal upgrade protocol. Regardless of her choice, commit to 90 days of intentional growth. Track daily micro-habits, meditation minutes, pages read workouts, gratitude entries. Use a simple spreadsheet or habit tracker app. Psychology shows that 90 days is the minimal window to form lasting identity-level change. By day 90, you'll either re-attract her from a position of strength or outgrow the dynamic entirely. Reading the signals, temporary versus permanent. How do you know if her distance is a stress response or a slow exit? Look for clusters, not single signs. Temporary indicators. She still views your Instagram stories quickly. Her close friends mention she's overwhelmed at work. Past cycles show she withdraws, then returns after deadlines pass. Permanent indicators. She's archived or deleted couple photos. She's dating or active on apps, confirmed by mutual friends. She explicitly says, I don't see a future. If it's permanent, pivot to grief work. If ambiguous, proceed with the 6 actions while maintaining your boundary timeline. Grieving with dignity if she doesn't return. Loss activates the same neural pathways as drug withdrawal. Allow yourself 15 minutes a day of scheduled sorrow. Set a timer, play a sad song, cry if needed. When the timer ends, stand up, splash cold water, and shift to an action. Push-ups, dishes, emails. This trains your brain that grief is finite and manageable. Create a loss narrative. Write the story of the relationship in third person as if you're the wise older brother recounting it. End with, and that experience taught him. This reframes pain as curriculum. Re-entry scenarios, how to reconnect if she reaches out. Suppose after 3 weeks she texts, hey, can we talk? Your response sets the tone. Script, hi, good to hear from you. I'd be open to a conversation. When works for you? Notice the calm tone. No guilt trips, no immediate availability. Meet in a neutral public place like a park bench. Arrive 5 minutes early, breathe, and set an intention. I'm here to listen and share honestly, not to audition for her affection. During the talk, use the mirroring technique from imago therapy. Paraphrase, so you felt smothered when I double texted every morning? Validate, that makes sense. You needed space to hear your own thoughts. Empathize, I imagine that was stressful. Then share your truth using I statements. End with curiosity, where do we go from here? Let her answer first. It reveals her level of investment. Long-term secure attachment habits. Whether she returns or not, adopt these habits to future-proof your relationships. A weekly relationship meeting, 10 minutes every Sunday to ask, what went well this week? What needs adjustment? 2. Emotion check-ins. Use a 1-10 scale for stress and connection. Share without fixing. 3. Personal mission. Statement, a 1-sentence. Why that guides decisions, e.g., I create a life of adventure and depth. When partners align on missions, conflict drops. Common questions. Question 1, should I block her to move on? A, only if boundaries are repeatedly violated. Otherwise, mute notifications and let natural fade out occur. Question 2, what if she's dating someone new? A, wish her well and exit gracefully. Triangulation rarely ends well. Question 3, how long before I start dating again? A, when you can think of her without a somatic jolt, usually 4-8 weeks after implementing the 90-day protocol. Remember, her distance is not the final verdict on your worth. It's information. Use it to refine your emotional toolkit, deepen your purpose, and show up as the man who can hold both love and uncertainty. If this helped, share it with a friend who's hurting. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. Writing it cements the lesson. And if you want a deeper dive, I've linked a free PDF worksheet below that walks you through the 90-day protocol day by day. You are not alone. Every man who's loved deeply has stood in this fire. Cross through it with courage, and you'll emerge clearer, stronger, and more capable of the secure love you seek.